That's another great question.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hi, this is Darren.
And Mayor from the Civil War Breakfast Club podcast.
This is Dan Casella from the No Pollution of Cowardice podcast.
This is Wayne Motz from the Gettysburg Foundation.
Hi, I'm John Rothman.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
Hi, this is Joseph Fuqua, and you're listening to Addressing Gettysburg. You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg with Matt Gallery.
Don't ever go on America Got Talent. You won't make it.
Please stop ruining history.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Bullshit.
The top of the list.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg Today.
I love this podcast.
Where did this idea come from?
You guys suck. And your stupid sound effects. Shut up. How does Valerie put up with you?
No, God! No, God! Please.
Yes,
No!
Michael. Yes.
No!
Yes. It is us. It is we. We are here. We are here.
Indeed.
Bethany and I are here for you, as we are every Thursday. Literally on the brink of death. I am here for you. Here we are. I'm so tired. How are you, Beth?
Fantastic.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Also, let me something here about the light.
Can you change the light in here? Because I'm starting to feel
You're
like
getting washed out. Go back to Bethy there for a second there, Cindy, if you don't mind.
it's too much to wash me out
there we
because
go.
I am
That's
clear.
Right. You are very pale. Very pale. There we
Yeah.
go. There we go. Let's see. A little bit. Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. It's just it's spring, and even though it's freezing cold today, it's spring, and I need that sun. I miss the sun, and so I opened the curtain this evening so as to get some sunlight.
Yes, some vitamin D. Was it yesterday that was gorgeous? Was that the day before?
Well, it's been chilly.
I don't actually know what days are what anymore.
I don't either. Yesterday was Wednesday, and I had to go down to to Germantown. I use TD Bank, and the closest branch is an hour away, either in PA. Actually, it's an hour and a half away. Yeah, we don't have any around here.
Time to switch back.
No, I've been with them for years, and I like them. They don't have a lot of fees. A lot of like local banks. I won't go to a local bank. Small banks, because they have fees and minimums and everything like that. You have a business, you got up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. You can't deal with that minimum nonsense. So anyway, I prefer to do all my banking through the same bank. So I went down there to set up my business account, and it took me like 2 hours. And on the way home, Bob Steenstra calls me, and he says that he's at ABC with a listener who is in town, and he says, come on out and have a beer with us. And so I said, well, I can't. I'm driving back from Germantown. I'm sitting in traffic on 270. I'm not going to get there by 6 o'clock, and whatever. And he's like, well, you're going on the staff ride with him tomorrow, right? And I said, yeah, on Thursday. And he goes, tomorrow's Thursday. And I was like, what? I thought yesterday was Tuesday all day long.
Oh my gosh, me
too. I don't know what day it is unless you tell me.
A really rough time. I actually, at like 4 o'clock today, somebody said, isn't today Thursday? And I went, oh, I gotta get, I gotta go to the podcast. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Yeah, that's kind of what I said today.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, we have the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know. It's tough being busy. You lose track of things.
It's tough being busy and having a 4-year-old who decides every 10 seconds to pop a fever that you have to stay home because you can't take him to daycare.
Does he get sick that often?
He seems to. I feel like all kids do, though. I don't think this is a Ezra unique situation.
I must have. I don't remember getting sick that much as a kid.
We played in dirt more than today's kids do.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I would get sick maybe once a year.
Although Ezra goes to Catholic school, so
What does that mean?
I don't know.
God just healed us.
He healed all our wounds.
He took care of us. That's right.
Yeah.
No, I would get sick once a year. It was usually like January, February. And for a couple of years in a row, I remember it was a fever. And, like the thing about I hated fevers while I was in them, but I liked them when I wasn't in them because it's like.
Sleep?
Yeah. All you do is sleep. And you're also kind of like out of it, like even when you're awake.
I've never had that problem.
Where you're out of it?
Yeah, never. I've never had it where I've been out of it.
Oh, like when you're you're kind of in like a dream-like state, no?
Never had that.
See, and that's why when I was older, I never got into drugs because I was like, I've had fevers.
Yeah, I don't need
it. I've been in an altered state before, and I don't need it. Yeah.
People
when your brain is boiling, you don't need drugs.
Exactly. People used to make fun of me for, like, we would go out to parties and stuff, and I didn't drink. And I'm like, guys, I'm like this without the alcohol.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
This is the full-on Bethany experience.
Yeah. When it's, those of us who were lucky enough to be born weird never really needed the drugs. Right. We were entertaining or scary without the drugs.
Them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was it. So anyway, I went on that staff ride today.
Yes.
And it was Adam Betts is the listener who put it together. He's the historian for the Michigan National Guard.
Nice.
What a cool job.
That's an awesome
right?
job.
And what's the coolest though is that he's a fan of Addressing Gettysburg.
Da da da.
And so he was down with some guys doing a staff ride. And he invited me to come along, and I said, sure. So I met them at Federal Point, and Rob Abbott gave it. And I have to tell you something. I was enthralled. Mm-hmm. I've never been on one before.
Oh, really?
Right. And so I was like, this is so much better than what the tourists get. With all due respect to guides, their job is not to do what Rob did today.
Exactly.
But when you're really into it, if you ever get the chance to go on a staff ride, go on a staff ride, because there was nothing about, and then they came from here and went over there. It was just like, okay, here's the situation. Like Ewell has this to deal with, and he's got an order from Lee, and this is what the order says. And, what's the problem with this order? And then the guys would give the answers and stuff. And then, okay, all right, so now here's some more stuff Ewell's got to think about. And he's got reports of troops over here and blah, 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 blah. And and then he talks about very real things like adrenaline. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what does an adrenaline rush feel like? And they're all describing it and stuff. And he goes, right, and you could do anything and blah, blah, blah. What happens when it's done? And then they're all like, you crash. He goes, you're exhausted, right? So you think these guys weren't exhausted after fighting all morning? And, like very real practical things that Ewell or any other commander would have to deal with.
Yeah.
I just thought it was great. I didn't want to leave. I had to leave early, but
they're wonderful.
Yeah, it was so cool. Mm-hmm. And so
Rob's fantastic.
He really is. And thank you to Adam for inviting me along on that one there. And I hope next time you come, you invite me again, and I could stay the whole time because that was really neat. And I met my second general.
Oh yeah.
I've met two generals so far.
Really?
Yes. Ty Sigilly.
Okay.
I interviewed him.
Okay.
I met him when he did the lecture last winter, and then or was that 2 winters ago? Well, either way. And then the general today, and that was cool.
That is cool.
I don't know. I'm impressed with power. What can I say?
That's the one thing about Gettysburg that is so crazy to me. The number of famous people I've met.
Yeah. I met an astronaut.
Government, yeah.
I met a hockey player.
Our members at the foundation, their histories are insanity. One of our members, she is the one of the first women to be in the Olympics for women's swimming. And she's just hanging out with us at muster.
Really?
Yeah. And we have people that work for NASA and people that work for high positions in the government and people who are bajillionaires.
Yeah.
And they're just coming to be nerds.
I was told, I can't say who, but I was told through someone who knows this person that there's a pretty famous person that likes the show. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, can you get him on the show?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll see what I can do. He's really busy. He's always, doing things and blah, blah, blah. And so, okay, whatever. But, it's interesting who is interested in this stuff. Mm-hmm. and it's
there's a lot of
I don't know, it's
people
fascinating.
was it you who I was talking to when Max was here? Max Felty?
Yes.
And we were saying who bought some of the figures from the Wax Museum, and one of them was Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. Which I knew he was interested in history.
Yeah.
Do you ever watch his podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend?
No, I have not.
It's great.
Not because I don't want to. It's because I have to be very selective with my podcasts.
Yeah. Why? Because of Ezra?
Well, there's that. But then if I get...
You don't want to be influenced and then people will accuse you of copying on this show.
No. I don't care about that. But it's really like if I get really into it and I'm really listening, I'll wreck my car. Like I
What?
I need...
So what do you listen to in the car?
Like usually classical music.
For real?
Yeah.
That doesn't put you to sleep?
No. Mm-mm. I get very into things.
I listen to classical music when I write or, reading or something. Mm-hmm. That helps me concentrate, but it also kind of puts me in a trance. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't listen to that.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to movie soundtracks like Gettysburg or Glory or something like
something
that.
Upbeat
in the car.
More,
yeah. Something that gets the blood flowing.
Yeah.
Like if I'm falling asleep, I'll put, the beginning of Gettysburg on, the main title, or the charging of Fort Wagner on the Glory soundtrack,
Those are good ones.
Yeah. Those get you going.
Mark, when we go on trips, he likes to listen to books on tape.
Ugh.
And I will only listen to them when I'm not driving.
Yeah.
So I'm a passenger. And then he'll want to talk to me. And I get, don't do it.
During a book on tape?
Don't do it. This is
the guy who never talks to anybody wants to talk during a book on tape.
Going to lead to divorce.
Jeez.
So, no, but if you pick, okay, I have tested it.
Uh-huh.
If I pick up a book and open it and start to read, Mark will start to talk to me.
Yes.
I put the book down, he stops talking.
Right.
I pick the book up, he starts talking to me again.
It's because you're not paying attention to him.
It drives me insane.
Cindy was reading a book. Hello, Cindy. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are
she
you?
was. She's taking up for Colby tonight because Colby has bloody diarrhea, so Cindy is doing the cameras. Cindy was reading a book. I came downstairs this afternoon. I went home, took a shower to get ready, and nobody was home. And then I come down, and she's on the couch reading a book. I'm like, oh, hello. And, she's reading, and I'd say, something to her, and she goes back to reading, and then I start saying something again, and I did the same thing. And I know I hate when people do that to me, and here I am doing it to Cindy. But, I was on my way out, so I was going to leave her alone, and she could read all she wants, after that. But did that annoy you, Cindy?
No, I welcome that.
Really?
From you.
Oh,
yeah.
from me. Oh, that's nice. Oh,
So,
no. What?
I would never do that to another living soul because I know how annoying that is.
Yeah.
So it's when Mark's painting miniatures that I try to get back at him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I get up to him because he's bent over, he's really concentrating with a really small brush, and he does something, and I go,
boo.
No, I go right up to his ear, and I'm like, hey, how are you? What are you doing? What's going on? Talk to me about your day. Tell me
and
about
he's like,
everything
you made
that's
me
going
ruin
on.
my orc.
Battle mech, but yes.
See, I can't do that because you just get so into whatever you're doing.
I don't even listen to you.
Tune me out.
Yeah.
You don't hear a word I say.
No, not really.
I know.
And no, I don't. It's because the thing is, it's so hard for me to stay focused on something. So when somebody talks to me, I would so much rather have a conversation with somebody than work. Mm-hmm. But I have to work because once I finish this, there's probably 3 more things I need to do, and I want to get it done. Mm-hmm. And so I only have, and I do what you just did there.
No, you don't do that to me.
What do I do?
It's dead silence.
Oh,
yeah. It's just you'll say hi and
yeah,
and I'll continue talking, and you're staring at whatever it is you're doing, and it's just complete silence, and then I just walk away.
Does he
Sad.
Does he do this? Because I do this all the time, and sometimes he'll do things that are very similar to what I do. Is Mark will be talking to me, I'll be looking right at him, and he'll be talking to me, and then I'll go, and then I'll turn away and I'll go, no wait, say what you just said.
I do
to
that
me.
all the time. All the time. Because then, like, right as soon as she finishes, like, the intonation in her voice tells me it was kind of important. And I go, damn it. Can you say that again?
And I suddenly realize I have no idea. Like, I'm trying to put it in my memory banks, and I realize there was nothing.
Yeah.
to put in.
Right. I tried to, the few words that I did pick up throughout the whole thing, I tried to puzzle them together to see if I could figure. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. Something about socks and the underwear, and I don't even know what she's
spaghetti,
saying. Yeah, and then I ask her what it is, and she's like,
I often talk about socks, underwear, and
well, that's what I think you're saying. And then when she repeats it, she's like, this banner that you got for the ABT thing, like, do you want to do? Oh. I thought you were talking about socks and underwear. Yeah, so it's a real mess.
I do that to Mark all the time. He drives him nuts. I said, if I am focused on you, it doesn't mean a dang thing.
Right.
My eyes have to look like I'm focused.
Right.
Because I'm really good at not actually paying attention to you.
I just don't want to say to somebody, can we wait on this? And let me, or, just wait, give me a second, let me finish this. I just don't want to put anybody off.
Yeah.
Oh.
I get that.
And that's why I go, when I'm really not listening. I don't want to be rude, but that's rude.
When you're angry, do you do that, though?
Do what?
Do you put people off?
You mean ignore them?
No. Like, when I'm angry at Mark, let's use him as an example, I look at him, because I don't want to say anything horrible. So I look at him and go, when I'm done being pissed at you, we will discuss this again.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Cindy, what do I do when I'm mad?
I don't know.
I throw bottles.
Yeah, you're pretty violent. No.
Don't even joke.
Yeah, no, you're not. I don't even know that have I seen you mad?
No, you haven't. That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't get mad.
I don't think I have.
I get even.
It only happens very rarely for me.
Yeah.
I find that there's far better things I could do with my energy and my nasty words than be angry at somebody I love or care about or even like. So
I just don't. I'm so afraid of saying something horrible.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And honestly, the things that get me a little ticked are not really things to fight over. It's usually a me problem, not a them problem.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely is it a them problem. I mean, it really, I wish, no, I don't want to say that. I was going to say, I wish I had an excuse of someone else having harmed me in some way where then I have an excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, excuse to be an asshole. But I don't. I know what any problems I ever had were my own doing to myself, my way of thinking, right? And once I realized that, I was like, God, you're an idiot. Like, you wasted 20 years of your adulthood.
Well, most people don't even realize that after 20 years of adulthood.
Most people don't realize that after 80 years of life.
That's very
Yes.
Good.
So, it's very liberating to finally come to that realization. But it's very painful, too, because you have to, like, rip yourself apart.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm very good
I
at
highly
doing that.
recommend it to anybody out there.
Very good at ripping myself apart.
No, but not in that way. You have to, like, tear everything out and be like, okay, how did we get all miswired like this? Yeah.
Oh, no. I use my sister's therapist. So...
is that alcohol?
No. Mallory will go to therapy, and then she'll call me, and she'll be like, do you realize that when we were little, X, Y, and Z happened, and that's not normal? And I'll be like, no.
Yeah.
Ask your therapist about this.
That's good. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she pays, and you get the
and I get
benefit.
the free therapy.
And do you find it helps?
Oh, very.
Yeah. Because you save money.
Well, that. But I think everybody should be in therapy. I love therapy.
I think it's good. I started going again about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I went in there, I'm like, there's not really a huge problem. I just have a lot of stuff on my mind, and I'm starting to not be able to see the forest for the trees. And I just need to talk things out to someone who's not going to give me their opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, unless I ask for it or whatever, and also is not going to have any skin in the game.
Yeah.
No, I mean, advice is good, but like, there's advice, and there's advice because I love you or I care about you, and it's not that that's bad.
Yeah.
But it's colored by the feelings. So you have someone who's dispassionate, and they're like, "Oh, this is the 5th complainer I have this morning." You know, like they just want to go home. They're thinking of lunch. You know, whatever. I find it's just easier. I just need to see another human being in the room while I just like unload everything.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just thought of something though. Can you imagine being a therapist, listening to somebody all day long, and then getting close to lunchtime and being starving and still have to listen to somebody until you can eat?
So
oh my God.
vomit?
That's like literally my idea of hell.
Well, how about, so it's interesting because just on my appointment yesterday, I was talking about how when I come home sometimes, like especially if I'm recording all day, like I don't want to talk. I can't talk. I want to hide in a room for an hour. And it's not that I don't want to be around people. I just don't want to be around people then.
Yeah.
Because I'm done. And she's like, I know exactly what you're talking about because I spend all day talking to people and listening to their stories and, you know, pretending to be concerned. And I come home, she's like, my boyfriend wants to talk to me. And I'm like, give me an hour, you know, like I just need to, but you feel like a jerk. And that's what I was talking about. It's like, I feel like a jerk. Right, Sin? Because I said, you know, one time, like sometimes I just need to lock myself in a room and it's nothing against you, right?
Yeah. Well, no, you say that, but then like when I come home, you'll start asking me how my day was. So then I start thinking, what are we doing with this music here? then I start thinking, okay, maybe I just need to give him time. Why are you asking me questions? So,
well, I don't want to come home and not say anything and then go lock myself in a room. You know, I'm not saying I want to be completely, I don't want to act like you're not in existence. I just can't talk. My brain is not, it's done for the day.
Right.
Do you apologize? Oh, sorry, Sid. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying then I just then want to say, oh, it was good and let you go do your thing instead of even getting into anything. Are you trying to drown me out?
No. I'm swelling. It's emotional.
Yeah. So.
Do you apologize to your therapist?
No, I pay my therapist.
No. So I get in trouble all the time.
When
I was in therapy, I would like da 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 da, and then I go, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I do that with like when I was in the hospital.
But you do that all the time.
Yes,
I do.
You do that
I
with
apologize to
everybody. Yeah, and nobody wants your apology. We like listening to you, right?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. When I was in the hospital for my
gallbladder?
Yes. The doctors would come in and they would tell me stuff and I would, you know, do whatever they told me to do. And when I left, when I checked out of the hospital, the nurse said, I have never been apologized to this many times by a patient in my life. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for apologizing.
You literally, I cleaned my room when I left.
Yeah. You feel bad about why? Who made you feel so bad about living?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get into that one.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're just apologizing for existing, basically, by cleaning up at they have people for that. They get paid. I know.
I clean the doctor's office after I.
But I do the same thing. I apologize for making someone do their job, except the therapist. That is their job, and you know, I don't ask them to do anything more than what we agree to. But like someone like let's say I go to like Gettysburg Baking Company, and I'm gonna eat there, and I get a soup and a breadless sandwich. And they bring it out to me, and I go, oh, can I get some napkins? And they go, oh yeah, sorry. And then they go and get it. I feel bad that I made them go get the napkins. And so sometimes I'll get up and I'll be like, I'll go with you so you don't have to come back. Like, it's like, no, I just tipped the person. So why should I not, let them do their job? But I just feel bad making somebody do, because you know why? When I was younger and I had those jobs, those like retail jobs or service jobs, I hated it. And so I feel like these people hate it too. But I got to remember, not everybody thinks like I do. Most people are intelligent. Yeah. And so they're not as dumb as I was. And they're not as, I don't even know what the word was that I was, where I was like, I couldn't do simple jobs, or I wasn't happy to have a job. I wasn't happy to have a job because I had money coming in. I wanted a specific job, or, I don't know. So I just feel bad. Like I'm putting them out or something. Like they're being put upon.
I feel like the poor people at Montezuma's
hate us.
They do.
Yes.
No. By the way, go ahead.
Because I apologize to them the entire time I'm ordering. Did you ever notice that?
Yes.
It's horrible. Why do I do that? These poor people are like,
yeah, I know. She's like, what would you like? I'm like, a chicken fajita. I'm sorry. Chicken fajita. I'm sorry. It's just. And then meanwhile, Cindy and I are like, no tortilla, No rice, no guacamole.
And then the last time we were there, I'm pretty sure my order was, may I please have the enchiladas, rancheras, but without a lot of sauce. So light sauce.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person, but I don't like the sauce.
Did say that, yeah. And she agreed with you.
And she was like, I'll just
see,
put on here light sauce. Like,
right. Yeah, I know. It's not so hard. And, or like when you have to get separate checks, can we get separate checks? Sorry. But the computers are all designed that way now. It used to be something to apologize for because it was a pain in the butt. But now the computers, boop, 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 it's all done.
When we go out tonight, I promise I will not say sorry.
Now, speaking of going out tonight, Cindy and I went and had a meeting with Babs and Justine, who's not Justine Bateman, I found out, over at Gettysburg Brew Works.
No, Battlefield.
I'm sorry, Battlefield Brew Works. It used to be Getty's Brew. That's why I was confused. And that place is awesome. Have you been in there?
No.
Recently?
No.
Ever?
No.
Never?
Mark has, but I've not. I send him in.
Well, we went in there.
We talked about this?
Yes, we went in there to. Cindy wanted to have a meeting with them to talk about something that's right now it's top secret. We're not gonna tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But I was in there and they got a little stage in the corner. I'm like, you know what? Next year when we start doing shows again, I think I'm gonna do them in here and at the seminary.
Nice.
Because both places are very eager to have events there and appreciative of them. And they promote them and I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring the stuff there. And the beauty of it is like the atmosphere in that place is so cool.
It is very cool.
And we talked about menus and they're very willing to do whatever we need to make the thing happen. Cindy has a pretty good idea that I think people will enjoy. And
That's
so
Cindy.
Huh?
That's Cindy.
That right? I mean, she's always thinking. And so that was cool out there. What was it that Justine made for us? The buffalo chicken. Like empanadas. Oh. Yeah. And the dough is handmade. It's not like, it's homemade. It's not, like frozen dough that they get. Like she makes it.
Oh, and we got to try that chocolate chili liqueur.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. And something else. Brandy.
Oh, yeah, brandy.
Yeah, I like the brandy.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
What was it we had last week?
So wait.
What was the drink?
That was the Better Than Bailey's.
Better Than Bailey's.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that
was better.
It is better than Bailey's.
Lots of things.
So are we going to go there for dinner tonight? Because it's open, right?
We have to order ahead.
We have to order ahead, though.
Yeah, we do because
we can order during the break.
I feel like they close at 8, but I'll double check on that.
Yeah. All right.
My favorite thing is that Tom Canavan says, "Oh my God, this discussion makes 51,000 casualties in 3 days seem upbeat."
I mean,
listen, Tom.
I'm sorry, Tom.
We need therapy.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say. Become a Patreon member so that Matt can go to therapy and I can too.
In the chat, they're singing the Sarah McLachlan song.
Speaking of Sarah McLachlan song, guess whose birthday it is today?
Oh. Sarah McLachlan.
No, it's Little Major's. And we got a little slideshow of Major here. So go ahead, Sind. Go over to Major. That's all right. Oh, there she is. There she is, just merely a month after we got her. She was 4 months at the time, I guess, or something like that. Look at the size of those paws. She's grown into them.
Yeah.
She's no longer this tiny little doggy now, but there she is. Oh, there she is with her favorite papa. And she's like, "What are you looking at?" And that's at the Farnsworth house. Was that the night where we saw Veronica there?
Yes, and Jen Murray.
And Jen Murray, that's right. Yeah, that same night there. There she is, sneaking a little peek. And at the, there she is. Look at her ears. And she's a full year now, and very well behaved. What's the name of the trainer that we went to?
Cold Creek something. I'll have to.
Oh, that was a great endorsement.
Yeah,
well,
geez.
you know,
Cold
it
Creek
catches
something.
me off guard all the time.
I know.
Cold Creek
Manor.
No, I'll get it.
Yeah, please do, because they're really good if you're in the area and you want your puppy trained.
Shane's amazing.
Shane was really good, and most of it.
It's just Cold Creek dog training. I should have guessed.
There you go. Most of it stuck too. I mean, she's very good. And anything that kind of wore off is because Cindy and I failed at reinforcing it, and so we just started to reinforce it again, and then she's kind of back. But there she is. Very happy dog. You can see she was smiling in that last picture. And that's little Major. I think we got them all, didn't we?
Yep, that was all.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, there we are. Okay, we're back to the beginning.
So
all right.
cute.
So what do we got going on here today? Ross Hetrick. He's been on the show before a while ago, a couple years ago. He was on to talk about Thaddeus Stevens, a very fascinating person. And before we do, I'm sorry, I didn't.
I was waiting.
I'm so sorry.
I'm having to switch back and forth.
Jeremy McNear, Colby's twin. He's been in here a couple times, and he's referred to his brother, who, if I'm not mistaken, his brother turned him on. You turned your brother on to the show, right?
Yes.
And then he became a patron first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I should do that.
I've only been listening to the show for how long?
Right. And you suggested it to him, and he's like, wow, I'm going to be a patron. And you're like, oh, yeah, I'm planning on doing that. Yeah, good idea. I was going to do that once sometime. And you're, so what was it like growing up with him?
Oh, jeez.
Are you younger or older?
I'm younger.
He picked on you a lot?
All the time.
All the time?
Tortured me.
Like beat you up?
Beat me up, He used to have me, he would call me his serviceman. I'm not even kidding. So he, like, if he wanted cereal or something, he'd just be like, and then have me go.
He'd call his serviceman.
But I would do it all, though.
Yeah, because he was your big brother. You loved your big brother.
But then if anybody else ever tried to mess with me, he was right there.
Right, because you were his to beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And now, were you in the service too?
I was. Yep.
Marines?
Army. No,
Army.
I was smarter than
You were
him.
smarter. Yeah. You don't need crayons.
No.
Is that right? That's the joke. I feel bad making those jokes because I wasn't in the service, but I know you guys do that. Yeah. So you, so what would he do? Let's go back to when you got beat up. So what would he do to pick on you? Obviously, he'd call you a serviceman, and he would make you bring cereal or whatever. Like, would he really beat you up, or just kind of like push and shove and wrestle? Would he punch you?
Not really, no. Unless we got like. Sometimes I would just have enough of it, and then we'd get in these huge, like, horrible
punch
fights.
him, and then he'd be like, "Don't punch me." Yeah, and punch you back.
But no, a lot of it was just like teasing. Like I would be like doing my own thing, playing with like my little army men or something. And
right.
He'd want to play baseball outside. I was like, "Well, I don't really want to." He's like, "You're playing," and just like keep on like getting at me.
You were the intellectual, and he was the barbarian.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
Savage.
it. Savage. And so, what were you into? You were playing with the army men and stuff. Obviously, you're both into the military because you went into it. But like, what were you? Were you really like the nerd, and he was the jock, or what was the?
Kind of. I've always been more of like an inward person.
Yeah, a quieter guy. Yeah.
So I'm fine with, you just give me a bookshelf and I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Are
you married?
I am.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Kids?
Yep.
How many?
3.
3 kids.
3 kids.
Oy vey.
They keep me
Jeez.
busy.
And how many does he have?
He has 4.
4? What is it with you guys?
I don't know.
Jeez.
We're Scottish,
Oh, there you go.
Big families. Scots, Irish.
Scots, Catholic too?
No.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Well, okay. Can't win them all.
No.
No, so you're Scottish, and that's why you guys have a lot of kids. So was it just you and him, or did you have other siblings?
Just me and him, yep.
And then you guys go and have more kids than you came from.
Yeah.
That is strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's usually a pattern.
Right. What do you got? All boys, all girls, mix?
I have 2 boys and a girl. He has 3 girls and a boy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. Is the boy the oldest in that family?
He is.
Yeah, he is. So he could protect the girls. How about you?
My oldest is a boy, then I have a girl, then another boy.
And what are the age ranges?
My oldest is 10, and then 8, and then 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. How old are you?
36.
36.
Yep.
All right. Well, good. Listen, I'm sorry I got to you late, but we'll get you back in during the news.
We were too busy analyzing our problems.
We were having a therapy session.
I could jump into that one.
Well, maybe after the news. Are you going to join us for dinner tonight?
I might.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get something over there at Battlefield Brew Works and whatnot. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, like I was saying before, Ross Hetrick was on the show a couple of years ago talking about Thaddeus Stevens. He finally has not only succeeded in getting the Thaddeus Stevens statue up in front of the courthouse.
Yes, that was a big deal.
But he also has it's called Thadd's Place. And it's a museum. It's a place for you to go and hang out, do a little research, drink a little coffee. Maybe you want to sing some songs. You could do that. I'm sure he wouldn't yell at you for singing a song or two. Or maybe he would. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Yeah. But anyway, that's what he's going to talk about. And if you've never heard Ross before, stick around. He's a very fascinating guy to talk to, very entertaining. In fact, you might know or you might not know that when I started the show today, this is him.
You guys suck.
That was when I said, "What'd you think of being on the show, Ross?" And he said that. No, he was reading a hate mail. There's also this one.
You're not funny. How does Valerie put up with you? And your stupid sound effects. I hate you guys.
And my favorite.
Shut up.
And then of course this one here.
Please stop ruining history.
So we'll be right back with Ross Hetrick, and that's it. Oh, we're right back. No.
We are too. We'll be right back.
Hey Gettys nerds, 2024 is shaping up to be a fun year for Addressing Gettysburg, and we want you to join us. Our Get Out of the Car tours, put together and led by licensed battlefield guide Louis Trott, kick off in April and will be available at a later date for the first time ever on our YouTube channel. Speaking of our YouTube channel, Gettysburg National Military Park's Winter Lecture Series is available exclusively over there from January through March. So be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single one. We have much more in the works, so be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now for free on Patreon. We hope to get to meet and spend time with many of you this year as we spread the word about the Battle of Gettysburg and the Civil War. Help us teach the masses that history is not boring. Movies and documentaries about history are spread out across the internet, and their quality is often suspect. History Fix delivers curated historic programming to your preferred device using their website or branded apps. Join History Fix for movies, documentaries, short films, and how-tos. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive 20% off their first annual subscription. So what are you waiting for? Sign up at www.historyfix.com and use promo code ADGBURG. That's ADGBURG.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinware Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott, narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg.
Want to promote your Gettysburg business? Send an email to sales@addressinggettysburg.com.
Okay, we are back, and I want to tell you something. No, Ross Hetrick is with us as promised, and when I make a promise, I often keep it. Often, not always, sometimes life gets in the way, but I try to. He's the president and founder of the Thaddeus Stevens Society, which he started in what he started that in?
That's a great question.
Guess.
Is it recent?
In the last century.
Really?
1999.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
He's a native of Waynesboro, Virginia. He graduated from the University of Virginia in 1975. He was a business reporter for 20 years, Newport News, Daily Press, Baltimore Evening Sun, and Baltimore Sun. Moved to Gettysburg in 1995 and operated Ross's Coffeehouse and Eatery. Did you know that?
No. Oh
from 96 to 2004. Dedicated himself full-time in 2018 to the legacy of Thaddeus Stevens. He offers educational programs portraying Thaddeus Stevens and writes a monthly column called the Thaddeus Stevens Chronicles. We are happy to welcome back our friend Ross Hetrick. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
It's an honor to be here.
I bet it is. Pull the mic a little closer to your mouth there.
How did you do through our therapy session earlier?
Yes. What did you think of our therapy session?
Our therapy session earlier.
To tell you the truth, I'm against therapy.
Are you? Oh, interesting. Why are you against it?
I think it makes people think they have more problems than they do.
Okay, this is a very legitimate criticism. I agree with you.
Okay.
And I always say to people, if you're going to go to therapy, you have to remember that it's your life and you're in control. And just because that person is getting paid to talk to you and they're licensed by the state does not mean they know what's right for you. You still have to advocate for yourself. It's just, I look at it as a steam valve, just a way to kind of let off some steam and everything like that. Now, there are people with legitimate problems, and that's a different story. But I'm talking the average Joe who thinks that they have all these problems.
Aren't legitimate.
They're really not.
Yeah. Actually, they aren't. Yeah.
They're not. They're very normal. They're very average. And they're very manageable. We just don't have the gumption to do it because we're all so exhausted from working all the time. But no, I agree with you. I think it does make a small problem big, and it perpetuates it. It keeps it going because otherwise that therapist is not going to have a customer.
Yeah.
If they cure you.
And Tom Canavan, we're doing this specifically for you.
Yes, Tom. We
love you.
This.
We know that how much you love us talking about this.
All right, but let's talk about Ross, though.
Okay.
So, Thaddeus Stevens, first of all, when did your, and I don't say this in a bad way, obsession with Thaddeus Stevens begin?
You can call it an obsession, yeah.
I think it's a healthy one.
You have to understand, I was a history buff from way back.
Yeah.
In fact, I got a prize at my high school for the highest history score in the high school. And so I really did know about Thaddeus Stevens, through college, where I also majored in history. And then I read a biography of Thaddeus Stevens, got really deep into it. And I was just kind of like overwhelmed by his importance.
Yeah.
And it was in the 1980s. And I thought, well, I'll go up to Lancaster and see his house and his grave. And that I'd grown up around Monticello down in Charlottesville, figuring that's the way they would treat him.
Right.
Absolutely did not. His house was altered to the point of being unrecognizable. His grave was overgrown and trees and tombstones were scattered around. It was horrible. It was so horrible that I used a landline. They had landlines back then.
Yes, I remember those days.
Yeah. And called up the Chamber of Commerce to complain about this,
Uh-huh.
Of course, they said, this is a crazy guy. So it was back in the 80s, I decided, I got to do something. Nobody else is doing anything to promote this guy. And that's really the whole thing is people don't remember people unless they're promoted. And I'll have to say that his friends and admirers dropped the ball as far as promoting him, after he died. I just like to, point out something that promotion is really so important in history. Like everybody I know knows about a botched arrest in a podunk town that didn't amount to anything. Do you know what I'm talking about?
A botched arrest in a podunk town that didn't amount to anything.
Right. But everybody knows about it.
Can you give me a time frame?
Late 19th century.
Oh, wait. Bonnie and Clyde? No.
Almost.
John Dillinger.
No.
Damn it.
Well, those are 20th century guys. You got to get your time.
I'm sorry. You're right. Those were cars.
Think Old West.
Old West.
James.
Billy the Kid.
Nope.
No, because he was
Wyatt Earp.
Very good. That's it. Wyatt Earp and
the OK Corral.
The OK Corral.
A botched arrest. Right, because they were going to arrest the guys.
Yeah, they ended up blowing them away.
Yeah.
The botched arrest. And the only reason we know about that is because Wyatt Earp went to Hollywood after he got through shooting everybody and schooled John Ford, who made all these westerns.
Yeah, John Wayne met him.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
No. It was somebody else that he modeled his walk after. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I mean, John Ford, I saw an interview with an old interview with him where he was talking about how he had hung out with Wyatt Earp. So that's I just use that as an illustration that promotion is everything.
Yes.
And if we had a series about Thaddeus Stevens, maybe he would be better known. Wyatt Earp had its own series also.
But now I'm surprised though that Spielberg's Lincoln didn't do better for Thaddeus Stevens.
It did. It did very well.
It did. No, but I mean, it helped a little bit, but not as much as I would think.
I think it's because, Tommy Lee Jones is such an actor. He's a fabulous actor, but sometimes you don't see beyond him.
Yes, he's too much of a too large a personality.
Exactly, and so sometimes I like when I bring up Thaddeus Stevens or something, or we talk about him at the Children's Museum.
Mm-hmm.
People always kind of give me this look like, who are you talking about? And I'll say Tommy Lee Jones in Lincoln, and they're like, oh, okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. But I don't think they got his name.
No.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names to remember in that movie.
Yeah, it sort of came and went rather quickly. But it had a tremendous effect on our membership.
Oh, I bet.
Good.
It continues to have an effect because unlike the olden days where movies would be in theaters and then you never see them again, people can call that up. And the thing that's good about that movie is that people have a patriotic feeling that they have to watch that movie.
Right.
Which, if you had just done a movie about Thaddeus Stevens, people wouldn't have had that feeling that they had to watch it. So we sort of piggybacked on Lincoln.
Understood.
And so that has helped a lot. But I think, you're talking about it maybe not having as much of an effect as it should have. Problem was it wasn't really that great a movie. It wasn't. It was kind of slow.
Very slow.
And it also had okay, this is going to be really exciting. We're going to be in Congress.
Right.
Legislative.
Sister who is not a history nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times like something would happen and she'd go, why was that funny? Do you know what I mean? Or why are you laughing?
It's like
at
when
that?
my friend and I, we went horseback riding one time, and out there on the trail, there was this girl, and she came over and said hi to us. And she's like, do you mind if I ride with you? We're like, yeah, sure. And so then after that, we went out to lunch, and she invited us to meet her friends at a movie theater. They were going to see X-Men. And we're like, okay, whatever. But, we figured, well, maybe we can get a date or something, so we'll go. And it was frightening, but when we're sitting in this movie, we're not into X-Men, but when there would be a line that most anybody who's not into it would be like, okay, that was just a line, the whole theater laughed.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we are not this nerdy because we don't get this joke. We're not into this stuff, but it's an inside joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You have to be certain type of nerd to get the certain jokes.
Yeah. But I think with Thaddeus Stevens, though, he's the best role in that whole movie.
Oh yeah, he steals the show.
Yeah.
He's definitely entertaining. I think the best acting though is Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, but I mean, if you're going to walk away from that movie, and who do you remember from it?
Thaddeus Stevens. Yeah. No, for sure. Because I think that's the first exposure most people got to him.
Sure.
And people, what a colorful guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he had a clubbed foot.
That's correct.
And when you portray him, do you walk with a limp?
No, I don't, because I don't want to be accused of making light of a disability.
Oh, that's okay.
And of course, I don't have the skill of doing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not the skill.
I mean, you might actually hurt yourself for real and then really have a limp.
Yeah. Actually, to tell you the truth, it's kind of funny that you bring up that, because on New Year's Eve, we actually had the first wig rising.
Oh my God, it was the greatest thing I have ever heard about.
Now, as a bald man, I find that offensive.
Okay.
No, you do not.
I don't.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, I got a few comments from people saying, isn't that kind of, nasty that you're making fun of his baldness?
Come on.
And he wore a wig. In fact, it said that his wig was cut so that any way he put it on, it was okay.
That's pretty clever.
And he was a very self-effacing guy. In fact, one of the famous jokes about him is a woman came up to him and said, "Oh, Mr. Stevens, I'm such a great admirer of yours. Can I have a lock of your hair?" And he just pulls off the wig and says, "Here, have the whole thing."
That is pretty funny. Now I got to start wearing a wig in case anybody ever asks me that.
Lock your hair.
So you have a couple of events coming up now. You got the grand opening.
That's right.
Which is the grand opening of Thadd's Place.
Right, April 4th.
April 4th. And
Thursday.
that is, so let's see, you're at 46 Chambersburg Street. Where is that? Oh, is that on the corner?
No, that's actually next to Christ Lutheran Church. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Just to the west of Christ Lutheran Church.
Okay.
Where, by the way, Thaddeus Stevens owned a pew. He paid for a pew at Christ Lutheran Church as well at the Presbyterian Church, though he didn't really go to church there. But it's right across the street. In fact, this is a perfect location for us because it's right across the street from where his house was.
Yeah.
51 Chambersburg Street.
And what's there now? Is that a business?
It is a Thai restaurant.
Okay.
And a clothing store. The Silver Slipper.
So that was his house.
Yeah, that was how they tore it down in 1923.
Oh, that's not a Civil War building.
No, it's not a Civil War building. And unfortunately, I wasn't alive at that time to stop
fight
it.
for it.
To stop it. So
I could go back way back.
Are there images of it?
Yes, there's photographs of it.
Yeah.
And actually, according to some of the commentaries, it was well known to be, Thaddeus Stevens' house, and people would come to see it.
Was it a house or was it a building like they have there now, where
it was a house?
It was a house, a regular old house.
Yeah.
And so now, the building that you're in, was that anything to him, like an office or anything, or just
no? It's
just
not.
What
it's
was
just
available
across the street, and it's set up perfectly for us because it's a big, wide open space. As you walk in, and we can just put up exhibits around there, and we have some great things. I mean, we have a number of letters from Thaddeus Stevens, some very important, some kind of mundane, like a note he sent back from Lancaster to cancel a newspaper subscription in Gettysburg. Another little charging sheet for somebody that stole bushels of corn from him. These kind of things. But then very important letters, like where he is writing to a political colleague for the 1838 election in Pennsylvania, which blew up into what's known as the Buckshot War.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No, I haven't.
Buckshot War. This is going to sound so familiar. Everybody says it sounds so familiar. What happened? There was voting irregularities in Philadelphia, and both sides set up competing houses in Harrisburg. And then the Democrats solved the problem by importing a mob from Philadelphia.
As you do.
That sounds so familiar.
And taking over the Capitol by force, and Thaddeus Stevens had to jump out a window to get away from this rampaging mob.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah. So we have a letter where he's, talking to a colleague about getting the dirt on one of the gubernatorial candidates.
Wow.
And then our prize possession is we have stoves, cast iron stoves that were made at his iron mills.
Oh, nice.
So he actually ran. This is so weird about him. Politician, you wouldn't necessarily have a politician owning an iron mill,
right?
And he owned two of them, not at the same time, but one up in Fairfield. And then he moved to Caledonia, which probably most people know Caledonia State Park, which was where his iron mill was. And we have stoves that were made at both of those.
Oh, that's neat.
So, those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I don't think I said the date. It's April 4th from 5 to 7 p.m. at 46 Chambersburg Street.
And it's going to be cool
grand
because
opening.
we're going to have music by Tom Jolin. I don't know if
Oh,
you're
yeah,
familiar
yeah.
with
He plays the dulcimer.
That's right.
Yep, I know
He's
him.
going to be doing Civil War music.
Uh-huh.
We're having a color guard come in and present arms.
Good.
And then we're going to have, the name escapes you, Mr. Dole sing the Star Spangled Banner. And we're also going to have a goodies bag that we're going to be giving out, which has DVDs of Thaddeus Stevens videos.
He made videos.
Well, we made videos about that. Yeah, he made videos. Yeah, very primitive videos.
Do you want something to throw at him?
No, thank you.
So,
but he was a newspaper man too. He actually owned.
He did a lot. It seems like some people back then did a lot of things.
He did more than anything. I get tired just reading about it. He was into real estate.
Yeah.
He was into railroads, and he actually. I actually hope to do a column next month about Thaddeus Stevens, Railroad Man. Everybody, not everybody, but lots of people know about the Tapeworm Railroad, which was a failed effort of his to have a railroad run from Gettysburg to Western Maryland. But he also was involved in a railroad from Gettysburg to Wrightsville, and he had a significant influence on the Transcontinental Railroad, which I have to do some research as head of the Railroad Committee in Congress. He, in fact, one railroad executive called him the father of the Transcontinental Railroad.
Interesting.
So, there's all sorts of different things, that he was dabbling in at the same time that he was working to free the slaves and trying to set up a new constitution.
Yeah. Personality-wise, though, do you think, how would you characterize him? Did Tommy Lee Jones come close to it, or?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he, portrayed him pretty well. I mean, he's very, humorous, but very pragmatic about the way he did. Now, of course, there's a lot of mistakes in there, but I would say one of the first big mistakes is where they have Lincoln and Thaddeus Stevens in the kitchen, and Lincoln is giving him political advice. Thaddeus Stevens was the greatest parliamentarian in U.S. history. It would be the other way around. Yeah, Thaddeus Stevens knew how to get a bill through, Yeah. And so there's things like that.
Yeah. Well, the hero of the movie of Lincoln is Lincoln.
Yeah.
So they have to make him look like the
star,
the wise old sage.
In my presentations on Thaddeus Stevens, where I portray Thaddeus Stevens, I say that the Union was blessed with two political geniuses. One was Lincoln, and the other one was Thaddeus Stevens. And much of Lincoln's political genius was that he listened to Thaddeus Stevens. Yeah. And in fact, contemporaries at the time, recognized that basically Thaddeus Stevens was ahead of Lincoln so often. He was for freeing the slaves. He was for using them in the army, and he basically had to push Lincoln to do those things. And one contemporary, which I have to get and put this big quote up on our wall, is that he saw Thaddeus Stevens going through the fields, clearing it of trees and boulders, with Lincoln coming behind, spreading the seeds of freedom.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, some people, I guess, have to be kind of dragged to the party, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's one of the genius of Lincoln is that he listened to people,
Right.
You know, particularly. Whereas Andrew Johnson just was, I'm not
Right.
going to listen. I'm just going to do my thing and to hell with everybody.
Have you seen this new show on Apple TV called Manhunt about the search for John Wilkes Booth?
No, I can't afford Apple TV.
Nobody.
Well,
can.
it's a waste of your money anyway.
Right now, I'm just on Amazon because I can get 2-day delivery. And what's the other one? I watch Pluto because that's free.
Pluto?
Yeah.
What's that now? I don't know.
Pluto is, it's like
basically they have
certain
reruns
shows,
of old shows,
Oh.
and it's not as if you can control them. They're just running all the time.
Yeah, it's
They
like
have
an old TV
commercials.
stand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. In fact, they have this one commercial where they say we grow couch potatoes, and they show all these people dressed up like potatoes on couches. They put televisions in front of them, and
it's called
like that.
Pluto.
Pluto.
All right, I'll have to give it a try.
Like the disregarded planet, or the
the unplaneted planet.
Yes.
So you also the ticket price is free for the grand opening.
Yeah, it's free.
It's
free.
grand opening April 4th, 5 to 7, 46 Chambersburg Street. You also have a fundraising banquet.
That's right.
And that is April 4th, 7 to 9.
Right.
At Christ Evangelical Lutheran Church.
Yeah.
So right after the grand opening, you go next door and you have a banquet.
Right. Now, just let's just talk about that. We had the ticket. We have the tickets for $50 a piece. You know, that's sort of the idea behind fundraising is that you get money. However, one of our very generous donors has offered to pay for tickets for people who can't afford the $50.
Oh, very nice.
So if people want to contact us and say, I want to take advantage of that, I would ask them, to be honest, can you really not afford it?
Right, we'd like to see a pay stub.
Yeah. But we're not going to do that. But we in the spirit of the great commoner, we want to be open to everybody, but we need some money.
Yeah, of course. So
you just did this amazing thing by opening a new museum that takes cash.
I have to tell you, it is amazing. The support we've gotten from our membership is amazing because let me just sort of tell you, I turned 70 and realized I'm not going to live forever. Okay, I guess I was able to raise $28,000. Which I estimate to be enough money to pay the rent for 2 years.
Okay.
At sort of the rate of about $1,000 a
Right.
month. And we were able by January, starting in November, by January, we got $28,000.
Nice.
Okay. And so it's amazing. So then I had to try to find a place. And it just so happened this place opened up for us.
And it was the right rent?
Yeah, it's right to rent.
Wow. That's
I'll tell you,
rare.
It's about $1,300.
Okay.
A month.
Yeah.
I feel good for Chambersburg, Gettysburg. Chambersburg Street.
Yeah, I was going to say $1,300 is right off the square. That's amazing, actually.
I think so.
Yeah.
But tell my landlord.
It's a miracle.
I hope my landlord doesn't.
Oh, yeah. That's really high. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, how can you do it?
No,
1,300.
wow.
Jeez. Yeah, really, that's fantastic.
It's a reasonable. You want to hear a really weird thing? This is perhaps a weirder thing. I live on Stevens Street. Okay.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, I live on Stevens Street, and my.
Did you do that on purpose?
It was just a really happy accident.
Okay.
And my landlord, I don't want to be too hard on him. He has his reasons, but he doubled my rent.
Ooh.
Okay, so I had to look for a place. I had to find a new place. I did find a new place. Do you know where the new place is?
Thaddeus Street?
No, almost Thaddeus Street. It's above the museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, how perfect is that?
I could like roll out of bed and be in the museum.
You should have the bat pole. You know? Just go through
But
the
wear
floor.
the wig when you come down the pole.
To the Thadd pole.
To the Thadd pole. My gosh.
Yeah, so it worked out.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's lucky, right?
Yeah, I'm a very lucky guy. I have to say, that's
sure
what I say.
Well, you say you're a lucky guy, but it's taken a lot of years of hard work for you to get this far with it.
That's true, but I'll be truthful. I could have worked harder, and I could have done more. I could have gone out and beaten the bushes more for the people.
I'm sure we all could have.
Place.
But before the show, my friend Bo stopped by and we were talking about take you from the conception to the erection. It's usually the other way around. But how did it go? Like, how long did that take?
Let me tell you the reason that I actually, was sort of depending on other places to put up a statue. And the first statue of Thaddeus Stevens was put up in 2008 at the Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology, which is a nice statue. And I was hoping, not to go into detail, but I was hoping another statue would be put up down in Washington, D.C., which didn't happen. But the thing that motivated me to start getting the statue here was in 2015. Oh, yeah, there is a building on Gettysburg College named after Thaddeus Stevens Hall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thaddeus Stevens was on their board for 34 years.
Of course he was.
He was like one of the founders, and he was, instrumental in keeping it here in 1854 when they were thinking about moving away. And so anyway, they put up a statue in front of Stevens Hall in 2015 of Abraham Lincoln. Which is like
the 80th one in town.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
we need another one.
They need another one. Like you can't have.
We get it. You love Lincoln, and he visited here.
I was gonna say something really horrible.
What?
We need another statue.
Lincoln, like we need a hole in the head. Oh my God, Bethany! Thank God I took it away from you, so now you're safe.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it almost came out of my mouth.
I don't think it's too soon. I think it's okay to make that joke now.
It's not too soon. Okay.
No, I think
I like it a little bit. Not so graphic as I like to say, playing Thaddeus Stevens. I had a Gettysburg Address for 26 years.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey.
So, but in any case,
so
I started fundraising, and we got up to, and I knew that we probably had to get up to about 55,000 to get a statue, and we got up to about 11,000. We sort of stalled, and then a retired teacher who was in the teachers union, really didn't know about Thaddeus Stevens. He read about him, and he just fell in love with him.
Yeah. How could you not? Well, I've heard the name my whole life, never really knew anything about him. Saw Lincoln. I go, that's an interesting guy. Met you, had you on the show. You talked about him, and I was just like, why don't we know more about this guy? Why isn't he up on Mount Rushmore with all the other great Americans?
He wasn't a president.
Well, okay, I understand.
That's a good point.
I understand that, but my point, they should have made a smaller part, like underneath the presidents,
But you
coming out of their bellies.
But you do know that for most of the 20th century, he was demonized.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
I mean, this is the third movie he's been in. In the first two movies, he was the villain.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he when Early burned his ironworks, he knew who he was and he knew what he stood for, and he wanted to give him a taste of Southern hospitality, right? So I mean, he wasn't. I don't know if he was indiscriminately burning ironworks as he went along, or he
You're
knew
talking about Jubal Early.
Yeah.
Oh no, he did it because
he targeted, right?
Yeah. He knew exactly why. In fact, Jubal Early said that if he had caught Thaddeus Stevens there, he would have hanged him on the spot and distributed his bones to the Confederate States as souvenirs.
Wow. Could you imagine?
That's some hate.
Yeah.
That's hate.
Some real hate.
Jubal Early is, it's really kind of weird that he has his homestead preserved, down in Virginia. But he was really a pretty loathsome creature.
He was awful.
Even Lee didn't really like him that much. It was called Lee's Bad Old Man.
Yeah. He sounds like a real shithead, to be honest with you.
But he basically rewrote the history of the Civil War. These that are pulled down, and they're putting them on private property.
Right.
And they're still, I see this on Facebook page. They have these really terrible pages, glorifying the Confederacy.
Oh, really? I'm sure they do. Yeah.
In fact, years ago, I saw where they have like a Confederate youth camp where they bring all their youth, their impressionable youth, and they have them, get up in the morning and salute the Confederate flag that they
to this day.
Oh yeah, to this day.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not
There's
kidding you.
still, people are horrible at that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah. Matt, I don't know if you noticed this, but people are the worst.
Wow. Well, I was surprised. This is a different war, but there was a Bund camp, Nazi camp in North Jersey in the 30s.
Right.
Yeah. And the ruins of it are still up there. I think it's in Kinnelon, I think is the name of or that area there, Smoke Rise, Kinnelon, like that, up that part of New Jersey, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. And if you look it up, you can actually see pictures of when it was like in action. And it's the weirdest thing. You got these people in their brown shirts marching with the flags and the armbands, and there's a swimming pool behind them, and then the kids go in the pool, and like it's really
have
weird.
a fun day.
Yeah, and that's in New Jersey.
Yeah,
New Jersey.
Yeah.
What a strange history we have.
Now, can I ask a couple questions?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the question I have two really big ones.
Okay.
But this is the main one. Okay. So when you decided I'm gonna dedicate my life to Thaddeus Stevens. Now I've seen people do that, like, really become, but they don't decide to then portray said person.
Right.
Now, what I find fascinating about you doing this, because it is not I love that you do it. I love that you do it. I love everything that you do. I cheer you at the parade every time you walk past Rep House. Okay. But he is not known to be a looker. And so when you decided I'm going to do this, was there a part of you that was like, man, I wish this man had a better wig?
No, I think that's cool that he had such a terrible wig.
Yeah.
I think it just basically said, I don't care what other people think about me.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, which sort of reflects my personality.
Yeah.
From a long time ago, is that and probably was one of the reasons my ex-wife we got divorced. He never looks right. He never. He should take better care of himself. But I just think. It's so much fun to portray him. You brought up a thing that you could understand studying him, but portraying him. The reason I started portraying him, and some people, actually some other people were portraying him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was kind of cool with that, but they just didn't know as much about him as I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like I could, actually parry with people, when people would come in and challenge me, like people say, well, that the Tenure of Office Act was unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And I say, well, what is unconstitutional is the Supreme Court decides what's unconstitutional. As we all know, they change their mind.
Yeah.
Roe v. Wade is okay one day and not okay the next day, and so on. So, by the way, he had a hand in that too, Roe v. Wade.
No.
Stevens?
Yeah. He is the father of the 14th Amendment, and Roe v. Wade is based on the 14th Amendment.
Okay.
There you go.
How so?
In the sense that before the 14th Amendment was passed, you had the Bill of Rights. But hardly anybody knows that the Bill of Rights only applied to the federal.
Okay.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
In fact, a lot of people, I tell people that, like, before the Civil War, there was no freedom of the press in the South. If you tried to put out an abolitionist paper, you were shut down immediately.
Yeah.
They didn't have, I think actually, this is a whole nother discussion. I think that really contributed to the South going to war because they had no opposition press.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody.
They thought everybody was thinking this one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's
one more question.
Okay. There's as many questions as you want.
Okay. When you portray Thaddeus Stevens, do you come? I've always seen you. You've been there a while. You know what I mean? Like an event, you've been standing there for a while. You've been at the event for a while. I've never seen you come into a room as Thaddeus Stevens.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you portray yourself? Do you come in saying, "Hi, I'm portraying Thaddeus Stevens"? Or
have you tried the Willy Wonka entrance where you do you do a somersault?
Yeah. Or do you just, are you like in character the entire time? And the reason I'm asking this is because like when a Lincoln comes in the room, everybody recognizes that person as Lincoln. And as we've already established, Thaddeus Stevens is not somebody that a lot of people are aware of. And so do you feel the need to, hey, I'm portraying Thaddeus Stevens, or do you just let them try to figure it out?
Well, I try to have where I am to introduce me as Thaddeus Stevens.
Okay.
And I try to sort of lean on my cane to no somersaults. That would be sort of out of character.
Next time.
And what I have been doing in recent things is I start off by saying, men in pursuit of justice must never despair. And I say that's the title of the new statue in Gettysburg. And I have a statue in Lancaster, and I've added on that I now have a museum here in Gettysburg. And why do I deserve that? So that's how I introduce myself. And then I give a little thumbnail description of why I'm important.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I sort of end up saying, or even at the beginning, I say, I was the greatest unknown person in American history, or the 17th and a half president, because I led a veto-proof Congress against Andrew Johnson and prevented him from losing the Civil War after the Civil War.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, you got a good point that, Lincoln is immediately recognized, so he doesn't really need any. He has the stovetop hat, though the wig is getting to be more of a symbol, particularly with my column when I have a really terrible wig. And people see me on the street saying, "Oh, I didn't recognize you without the wig." So
yeah,
that's sort of, Thadd's, signature image is the wig.
But isn't it so fascinating that for somebody who did so much, you have to be introduced?
Yeah, that's true.
That's sad. That's
right. People recognize Lincoln when he walks in a room.
Yeah.
Thadd, you have to
and you think
him.
the wig would do it for you,
or the club foot? Well, you don't do the limp. So
I don't. I just.
Maybe I should.
I
hear you.
Maybe I should.
No, because somebody.
By the way, they got the limp wrong on the Lincoln movie.
Did they?
Yeah, they had him on. He had his club foot on the right foot. His on the left foot. Yeah.
You think with all the research that they did, that
maybe he
would know
wasn't
that.
as good at limping the other way.
Maybe
they were like, I can only limp this way. We got to do it this way.
That's right.
No one will ever know.
Of all the things Tommy Lee Jones can do, he can't limp. On the one side.
I don't know. Would you want to meet up with him in a dark alley? No.
Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah.
No, hell no.
That's terrifying.
I would like to say, I really do think Tommy Lee Jones should have gotten the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was really robbed at that. But the reason because he lost out to the demented dentist in Django Unchained, which was a horrible
Christoph
movie.
Waltz. Yeah.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody loved him. Because he was really great in Inglourious Bastards, and then that came out.
I never saw Django.
And it's good. Well, I didn't like it for history. I just thought it was fun.
I just can't put up with all that blood.
He goes
lots and lots of blood.
The Hateful Eight was, I think, better. because it's in one set, and it's, I don't know, it's like a mystery almost.
But Tommy Lee Jones has a very well recognized reputation for being very difficult and not very friendly.
Right.
And just to give you an example of that, when we heard about, before the movie came out, we heard that Thaddeus Stevens was going to be in the Lincoln movie. And I was excited. So
I bet you were.
I sent off packages of Thaddeus Stevens stuff to Steven Spielberg, Tony Kushner, who is the screenwriter and the reason that Thaddeus Stevens is in the movie, and Tommy Lee Jones. I didn't hear back from Spielberg or from Kushner. We got the package from Tommy Lee Jones returned unopened.
And he wrote on it, "F you."
So, it's...
Maybe you had the wrong address.
Maybe I did.
I know. Some of them don't like getting packages. I have a Jeff Daniels story for you during the break.
And maybe he said, package, it might have, sarin in it or,
Right. Well, I mean, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know who's sending you what.
Right.
All right. So again, it's April 4th. You got the grand opening followed by the event banquet. I'm sorry, the fundraising banquet. So that's basically 5 to 9. You can do the grand opening at 5 to 7. That's at 46 Chambersburg Street. And the banquet is 7 to 9, $50 per person. But if you send in a pay stub, you can prove that. No, but also if
we're very open. Though if we get more than 50 people, we're going to have to cut it off.
Okay, so it's a 50-person limit.
Yeah.
Okay. Contact information is info@Thaddeus Stevens. That's 2 D's in Thaddeus. Thaddeus Stevens Society.com, or you can call 717-347-8159. Ross, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. It's good to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these words with more frivolity and therapy sessions. We'll be right back.
Been craving a Hot Pocket or a bag of popcorn? Now's the time to go and get it. You've got 5 to 8 minutes, so don't be late. We'll be right back.
The minstrel boy to war has gone. In the ranks of death you will find him. His father's sword he hath girded on, and his wild harp slung behind him.
Who can forget the sounds of the 60s? The 1860s. I can't, and you can't either. Now, there's Marching Through Georgia, the exciting new album by Billy Webster. All of your favorite hits of the 1860s in one place. Such hits as Gary Owens, The Battle Hymn of the Republic, All Quiet Along the Potomac Tonight, Marching Through Georgia, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Go to billysongs.com and order your digital download of Billy Webster's Marching Through Georgia today. That's billysongs.com. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300. To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
Think outside the bus and let family-owned Gettysburg Tours take you on a cycling journey across the picturesque and historic Gettysburg battlefield. There's no better way than by bicycle to gain a feel for the terrain of the battlefield. Slow enough to see it all, yet fast enough to do it all. Follow the route of Union troops entering the fray as you ride to the site of the first shots of this epic three-day battle. Feel the drama as you put yourself in the position of a Confederate soldier just before he steps off to make Pickett's charge. Take a stand with the heroic Colonel Chambersburg on the slopes of Little Round Top, just before you view the fields of honor beneath you from its summit. All of our guides are officially licensed by the National Park Service. So don't get a sore neck trying to see out of your car, and saddle up with Gettysburg Tours for a 360-degree view of America's most important piece of real estate. Gettysburg Tours. Think outside the bus. Go to gettysburg.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
All right, let's see here. What do we got? Battlefield Brew Works, ladies and gentlemen. Battlefield Brew Works. That's, yeah, go ahead. Shut the door. It's located at 248 Hunterstown Road here in Gettysburg. It's a restaurant. It's a brewery. It's a distillery. And it's a pub. And it's in a restored barn. Did you know that, Beth? Yes, you did, because you were here last week.
I was here last week.
It's located in at the historic Montfort Farm, which served as a Confederate field hospital, and the food comes from Justine's kitchen. We met Justine the other day. We did. Cindy and I.
Oh.
Yes. I'm reading an ad. This is a live read.
I'm aware.
Okay. Anyway, so where did I leave off here? Yeah, Babs manages the social media and the music events. You met Babs last week. And if you guys, I got to tell you, when we were in there, it was like delicious looking. Now we had a little sample. They weren't open. It was a meeting afterwards, but like the whole place just has a really cool atmosphere. Was that the owner we met?
Yes.
Yeah. And the owner came in. He was
Nice.
he's very funny actually. And, just really cool place. So anyway, go check them out next time you're in town. I think Marie and her husband tried it, right? And they loved it. She loved the meatloaf. She said that.
Put it in the comments how
telling
great
you
it
that
was.
meatloaf.
There you go. And maybe you can be like Marie and go and try the meatloaf, among other things. So, 248 Hunterstown Road, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Give them a try. Battlefield Brew Works. Yum, yum. Give me some. Oh, wait, I hit the wrong. Sorry.
Nice try.
Seems like we haven't seen you in forever. Welcome back to Addressing Gettysburg Today. Here's Matt.
So I've been seeing in the comments, and I've been noticing it on my laptop here, that the internet is just sucking lately here in the building. And I don't know why, because we're plugged directly into the wall.
And I'm using my hotspot on my phone, and I have nothing.
Right. And I can't go and restart it because it's behind lock and key. And Eric has the lock and key. So next time I see him, I'm going to have to ask him if we can go in and look at everything there. And I apologize for that. But, I mean, I'm looking on my laptop, right? Get this. Through my hotspot, guys. So there won't be, what do you call it? Phone lines open tonight because I need the phone for... there
might not be news either.
What do you mean?
I can't get to anything.
Well, that's why you got to like copy and paste it in a doc and print it out, or.
Well, see, I was doing that, but then you would always ask me questions that I hadn't copied and pasted, and so then I needed to go look, and so I thought I'll start bringing my laptop, but now.
And your hotspot's not working on your phone?
No.
Why? Do you have your Wi-Fi on? Have you restarted your phone lately?
Matthew.
McNear, you got a hotspot on your phone that she could. You don't? What do you have, a flip phone?
No, not a flip phone, but close.
I don't even know how to turn this thing off.
Turn
how do
what
I
off?
restart it?
Oh, don't even. I don't know, because you might call the cops by accident or launch a nuke. So let's leave it there.
I'm not a cool Apple guy.
Well, they have hotspots on Androids.
They might.
Let me see your phone. Jeez. Does that?
Here.
What? It's like I'm like a bunch of 80-year-olds. How you guys are younger than I am? How do you not know how to use these phones? This is terrible.
Here's the problem, Matt.
Do you go up in the Wi-Fi?
I don't know. Well, go to your settings. Go to your settings, okay? Oh.
Listen.
In the meantime, can we find out if we can order food over there and if they can stay open? I mean, not stay open past. I don't want them to stay open. Well, why do they close at 8? Why does everybody close early? Wi-Fi is a connected devices, mobile networks. I guess that's what you guys call it on.
No.
No.
What?
What?
Is it an iPhone?
No, it's a thing. What do you call them?
That's useful.
Droid. Sorry.
An old thingamajig.
It's here. I'm gonna try mobile networks. Let's see what that does. Data usage, airplane mode, tethering, mobile hotspot. There we go.
Okay. Nobody breathe.
Oh shit! I was on the exhale.
Okay, I think it's working.
Okay, you got it?
I think we're okay, but you're not. We're going to have to do the funny version.
No, you just don't want to do the serious version. Come on, it's more funner when you do the serious version.
I don't even. Just do the funny one.
Oh, fine.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. With AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling.
Sidewalk conditions and weekend events and cars crashing into buildings. Whatever is happening, Bethany's got it and brings it all to you. 'Cause it's Bethany's news, Bethany's news, Bethany's news. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. All right, Bethany's.
Where did this idea come from?
Sorry, Cam, I didn't mean to step on you. Bethany's News is brought to you by the Civil War Institute at Gettysburg College's Summer Conference, June 7 through 12, 2024, with Harold Holzer, Ronald White, Scott Hartwig, Elizabeth Leonard, Aaron Sheehan Dean, Jim Brumel, Jonathan White, Jennifer Murray, and more. The program includes active battlefield experiences, lectures, and interactive small group discussions with leading Civil War scholars. Customizable packages are available. Be sure to inquire about our numerous discounts for military veterans, Gettysburg College alum, members of local partnering institutions and publications, K-12 educators, public historians, students, youths, and new attendee recruiters. Contact them at civilwar@gettysburg.edu or call 717-337-6590 for more information and tickets and whatnot, or you can Google them online. The address they have for that is far too long. gettysburg.edu/civil-war-institute / it's too long to read. So just do those things that I told you. I'm telling you, folks, it is fantastic. I look forward to it every year. It's like Nerd Holla. It's, all Civil War nerds. It's not okay. Yeah.
We're live again.
I know. It's, I don't know what's going on. I'm looking at the thing here and everybody's complaining.
Maybe there's a global situation.
No, it's not. It's the internet here. And if you're broadcasting on bad internet, then everybody's going to have problems. Because we're all having the same problems. So, but luckily, you can listen to the audio of this tomorrow without any of these problems. Anyway.
And without my face.
And without
Thank
my face.
God.
That's right. But anyway, you got to go to it. Join us all. We'll be there. You'll see us. It'll be great. Bethany will sign autographs. civilwar@gettysburg.edu or 717-337-6590. What's happening in the news, Bethany?
So last week you told me I had to go from worst to best.
Yes.
Okay,
Start with the bad and bring us up.
Again.
Good.
So on Wednesday, an evening at 10:38 p.m., officers tried to stop a vehicle on East Hanover Street. That vehicle then took off on a high-speed chase.
Is there a West Hanover Street?
No. They were heading east on Hanover Street. Is that what I said?
I got you. You said East Hanover Street. Now I know what you meant.
Okay, they're heading east on Hanover Street. And he went off the side of the road and hit a building. So we have a struck building, everyone.
All right, another one. Yes, finally.
I feel like that should be on the bingo card.
Speaking of which, Cindy started putting bingo cards together. Now we just got to figure out how to distribute them.
So this gentleman will face charges including DUI and fleeing to elude the police. So, and of course, where's this gentleman from? Bonneville! Woo!
Oh, your hometown.
Where I live. It's not anyone I know.
I thought you were going to say Baltimore because it began with a B.
No. And then a happening news story, as we're happening right now, is that there was an accident on Middle Street today.
Yes.
However, nothing's working to tell me to...
Well, a car flipped is all I know. Middle Street and Franklin.
Yeah, so they had the road blocked off. It was around 1:30 today when it happened. But none of these news stories are working.
Why don't you just use your phone? Why don't you pull up on your phone?
It's not working either.
Your phone's not working?
Well, it's not connecting to the internet.
No, I'm saying your phone. Don't you have cell service?
Yeah. Literally, it's off the Wi-Fi.
So your cell service isn't even working here.
Mm-mm.
Okay, maybe there is something going on. Oh, you know what? That's right. It's part of the cyber attack, the
Yep.
Black Swan attack.
It's
that started with the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Did you see that?
The Francis Scott Key Bridge. That is terrifying.
It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Awful on so many levels.
Mm-hmm. Now I've been stuck in traffic and sat on the
I know.
Francis Scott Key Bridge.
I ain't going on bridges ever again.
I know. And if
I'm
I ever
taking
get
helicopters everywhere.
If I ever get stopped on a bridge ever again, I might just get out of my car.
I
and
will walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
That was the fact that it collapsed that quickly, like it was a bunch of matchsticks.
That's exactly what it looked like a toy.
Uh-huh.
It didn't look real. Now that thing is heavy and it's, doesn't need to be going very fast, but Jesus.
Yeah. Did you see the one video where it's like the harbor people talking in the background?
No.
And the bridge is collapsing in epic fashion in front of them. And they're just like, and somebody's going to be pulling into port number 22. Backing in right now. Please.
So they're not even aware of it.
Well, I don't know what is happening, but they do not react.
Because they're
to what is
probably not
happening in
looking
front of
right
them.
at it.
And it says like underneath it, like live audio. So it's like,
Yeah, but they could be
what are you doing?
like on the other side of the harbor. Like,
It's just very surreal. I mean, I don't know the situation behind it at all, but to hear these people very calmly telling people where to go with boats and things like that, and then in front of the bridge is collapsing, it's like, is this real?
Yeah. So of course all these crazy theories are out there.
Oh, really?
I was
Already?
half joking when I said it's a black swan attack, but you know what? It's like an attack, like a sabotage type of thing. And so people are thinking, because the lights on the ship went out, it lost power, and then it came back, and so people are saying it was a cyber attack, probably China or something
On the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the power comes back on, and then it steers right into the pilings or whatever they call it.
Mhm. There's no way they knew that it was going to collapse like that. I don't care who you are. There's no way they would have known that.
I think I don't know what's possible out there anymore, because every time I turn on, there's like this new technology and something that I find out about that they've been able to do for 20 years. And I'm like, really? Okay, that's weird. So I don't know anymore. I guess that's my thing, is like, I don't know. I don't think it is, but I also don't think it isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it had to have been, I mean, I don't know how this all works, but it had to have been going at a rate of speed to run into a bridge and take out the bridge.
I don't think you need to be going that fast if you're that heavy. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a physicist, but like...
That's true. When I run into things, it doesn't mean as much when other people run into things.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well...
You love me.
I do, and that's why it hurts me when you say those things.
Whatever.
No, but yeah, it's just a weird thing. And I guess, what is that, a live stream of the bridge? Where does that perfect footage come from?
I think it's from the harbor.
So it's just like a security?
It sounds
or
like the harbor people talking about
I didn't
ships
hear
coming in and things like that.
Every time I see it, there's some jackass news person talking over it, so I don't actually hear.
Mark sent me a text of it or something of it,
Yeah.
so I can show it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that there?
They probably have like one of those, kind of like a harbor, like a building that oversees everything.
Like a
Probably
control tower.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably where that's from. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. And that's going to gum up the works for quite a while.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
All the shipping.
As if $6.95 isn't bad enough.
Yeah.
So John B says that they were going 6 miles per hour at strike.
6 miles per hour. Yeah, so you don't need to go that fast. I mean, that's a heavy vessel. It's, the ship itself is heavy, and then it's loaded down with what? I think, is it carrying cars? Something like that?
Of everything,
containers.
Yeah.
A
Like
little
all
bit of
the
everything.
stuff that the trucks carry.
Yeah.
Like it goes in. That's what's crazy, and how much this is gonna affect them.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff that goes in there then gets transported by truck or rail, whatever.
It's like when the Suez Canal got all gummed up. And
Right,
it
in
affected
Team
shipping for
America
months.
World Police. Oh, that was the Panama Canal. Never mind. Team America, World Police, when the
I'm just gonna stare at you
Hello?
blankly.
Hello. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's very scary, very sad for the people that were on it. I mean, and then like in the video, you see the cars, the headlights on and like what's coming. They don't know. They're just happily driving along. Oh, I finally get to go home after my night shift. And then you see there's one car that's got particularly bright, like maybe it's a truck. It's got particularly visible lights as it's going.
There was a tractor trailer on the bridge when it went down.
Oh, I'm sure. But you can see it, and you see the ship coming, and you know what's about to happen, and it like gets out just in the nick of time, and you're like, yes. But then all those other people on there, and just think of like, as that happens, you have no clue.
No.
The world just falls out from under you.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the hell, Geronimo? And then you're down in the water, and God knows, like, if you're crushed by anything.
There was a construction crew on the bridge.
Yes, there was.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were working,
filling potholes overnight.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there was, I believe, a lane closed, and they were working on that, but so they weren't even in their vehicles, unfortunately.
Right. The one thing I did not understand, I was watching the press conference with the president, and he said, I think I have it.
Oh, geez.
No, he said, because there was, and tell me if you know what, here.
For people that have bad health care.
What is he saying?
was that?
For people that have bad health care. America's dead.
No, he said that there was a Mayday call put out, and crews were able to stop traffic on the bridge before the ship hit. But no, they weren't, because you could see
that's
the
the
cars.
first I've ever heard that.
Yeah, I think he misspoke or jumbled something up there, because I haven't heard anybody else say that.
Yeah.
But I also haven't heard anybody correct him. So I don't know. I don't know what he was referring to there.
Well,
because the Mayday call, I think, was too little too late. Like there wasn't enough time.
Yeah. Well, if their power went out.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a good point. And then it comes on and it goes out again. And then, I don't know. It's just very weird.
I think, to me, the only time you ever see something like this, in your lifetime, except for the other day,
9/11,
is, well, things like that, but it's like in a movie.
Yes.
And there is no Spider-Man
to save us.
to save you,
Yeah.
nor are they in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that? There's no superheroes in Baltimore.
No.
No.
And-
They figure it's lost.
They're done.
Yeah, but like they, in those movies, you think, okay, somebody's falling to their death because something horrible happened. There's always somebody to save them.
Right.
And these poor people.
Oh, I know. And that's the thing. Don't believe movies, because it's not how it happens.
No.
They're just, that's what's so horrifying about it. Like,
Yeah.
you're just going about your day. And how many times have we all driven over that bridge?
Yeah.
Twice for me. But
It's
like
more than twice.
Any big bridge
for
like
me,
that, though.
twice.
You've only driven over the Francis.
I
Scott Key Bridge.
avoid that city like
the
plague. I wanted to think of something funny, but I couldn't. Will not. The closest I'll go to Baltimore is BWI, because it's not in Baltimore. I used to look at real estate in Baltimore, like you buy the distressed properties and like you
for
don't,
like $1.
for like $1, and then you fix them up and then rent them out. A friend of mine and I just felt like I was in a different world, really, not even country. There was one property that was available. It was a row home for $3,000. You could buy it because the roof was in the basement, and like everything had just collapsed. So all you're buying is the roof again. Like, I mean, it was just really amazing. We never really did it because we didn't have any money.
How could you? How could you?
No, I mean, you wanted to do it because the idea was you do one, you rent it out, you go and you get another one, and then like you try to revitalize the whole block. And we're like, Jesus.
No, but if you go to the the info desk.
Like Billy
They
Mays.
should have information about what programs are going to be run that day. But I did send
Billy Mays here.
Bringing you the power of history.
Love it. I called over to the info desk to see if I could get more information, but they didn't answer and they didn't call me back. So I'm going to go with...
Can't you just walk down the hall and ask?
I'm over at Rupp now.
Oh, that's
so no,
right.
I can't
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So I'm saying this to say summer is around the corner, guys.
Yeah, it is. You
the
wouldn't
National
believe it.
Park is starting to do their programming. This is a huge deal and a big, 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 exciting adventure because it means summer's coming.
Yeah.
So thank the sweet Lord.
See, Mike Lentz had a good one. I avoid that city like the British did in 1814.
Also, this weekend is the Easter egg roll at Eisenhower. So we're doing like a legit same situation of what they do at the White House. We're rolling Easter eggs out on the lawn at the Eisenhower National Historic Site. That is from 11 to 2 on Saturday. I will be there. Come out, say hi, bring a child.
Do you sign autographs?
Of course I do.
Good.
Do you think in all the time we've known each other
That you wouldn't sign
that
an
I
autograph?
wouldn't sign an autograph? Oh my God! If somebody asked me to sign for that, I can't even talk about it. I'm so
First
excited.
time I ever had someone ask me for an autograph. It was the greatest moment of my life. I loved it.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And in fact, now that I'm in,
I didn't know what to write.
Best of luck.
I think I said something like "keep reading."
You are too sweet to be forgotten.
Why are you laughing? What is that? What's the joke?
It's like 2, 2, 4. Anyway, where was I going with?
You were going to go on to another story.
No, there was something. Oh, that's why I became the head of membership, is because I get to sign all the letters, all the renewal letters. Okay, and then the next big story.
Oh, well, now hold on. Wait, before you go to the next big story, you ate at the Barn Restaurant.
I did.
Tell me about it.
So they did a soft opening, and we could go through Destination Gettysburg. If you're a member, you could go today. And it is a gargantuan buffet.
Really?
Yes. And it's
now, is it open, or was it only
no,
open
it was
for a
soft
special
opening
occasion?
for special people like me. Oh my God, did my computer just die? No, okay.
Screensaver.
So we went. There is a huge salad bar in the middle. Then there are hot things around the outside edge, and then a dessert bar off onto the side. I piled my plate. I mean, it was almost disgusting. Fantastic French fries.
That's funny.
Really, really, I mean, fantastic
Really?
mac and cheese.
Oh, you gotta love mac and cheese. Right?
But it was the kind with like the crumblies on top.
Oh, yeah.
The
baked mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
And
Can't go wrong with that.
I had like a chicken breast, like a grilled chicken breast.
Oh,
I
yeah.
fried that, and that was good. Don't know why there's a horse.
Because I already did the chicken.
Oh, and a bunch of different sides, and they were all very good.
All right. So would you? I mean, obviously, it sounds like you're recommending it when it opens, right? What did they say when they're going to open?
I think Easter is their first
Sunday.
official day.
Easter.
They're sold out.
The resurrection of our Lord and the buffet.
Yes. So I do think the atmosphere is really cool, but it is very obvious that it's still under construction.
Oh, sure.
So when you go up to the building, you're not. I'm assuming they'll have signage. I hope they'll have signage because you're not 100% sure where you're supposed to go for the restaurant because it's actually down a level.
Yeah.
with
Oh,
the
it's
escalator.
underground.
Yeah.
Subterranean.
So you have to go down the escalator, but I would never have known that. There happened to be a staff person there that I asked.
Really?
Yeah. So there wasn't any signage there that said like this way to the restaurant or anything like that. So, but when you go down, you go down into like a hallway, and there's the restaurant with the buffet on your left, and then the cellar bar and portion on your right. That was not open. I didn't get to try any of that, but it's set up really cute, and it's got nice atmosphere. It's like rusticy, but
Right.
it's nice. I can see it kind of being like, you know what it reminded me of is the sign of the buck.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Like that
Like
set of people.
Like fancy rustic?
Fancy rustic.
Oh, wait, what do you mean that set of people? Like rich people? Is it
Like-
expensive?
No, it was $16 for the buffet for lunch.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it was, like I said, a gargantuan buffet.
Yeah.
So
I think if you order if you ask for an extra dinner roll at most restaurants, they charge you $16 for the roll.
And there were a ton of people there. There was a bus that had come. So they must have made pre-planning to have a school bus. I'm going to say they were high schoolers there. And there plenty of room for all of them to eat. And still, Lori and I went, and we were the only ones in this whole section. So we had kind of the place to ourselves.
Nice.
In addition to a whole bus. So there's a lot of room down there.
Huh. Well, I can't wait until it's open. So when it opens on Easter, and then you can go, what, every day? Or is it...
I don't know the answer to that question, but I would love to look it up for you, but
your internet's not working.
Cindy, do you know? Is your phone working?
I am looking it up to be sure, but I remember them saying that they would be open from Easter on.
Okay.
Eric Houston says he's going. First meal at the New Barn restaurant. He's coming up, I guess, for Easter.
Yeah.
And he's going to do that. They have they have a reservation on Sunday. That's Easter, guys. That's Easter. And that's the magic of Easter.
April 1st. Mm-hmm.
April 1st. There you go.
Monday.
That's Sunday, right?
Monday.
Sunday.
All right. What else?
All right. Now, I just want to put on everybody's radar that they have announced the Gettysburg Film Festival, that Martin Sheen and Sam Watterson will be on site as part of the Gettysburg Film Festival that is happening April 5th through April 7th.
What are you doing?
What?
There's a moratorium.
This is not about that.
Yes, it is.
Because I'm going to tell you a story.
All right, go ahead.
So they'll also be going up on Little Round Top, which is nice.
Yes. So that's
I'm telling you that story to tell you that I might get to meet them.
Oh, isn't that great for you?
I feel like that gets to be on the news.
Yeah, that's something. Good for you. So glad. Yep. All right. Well, good. Great, Beth. Good for you.
Do you want me to bring you with me?
No.
Right.
No, I want nothing to do with that. There is no time.
All right. And last but not least.
Oh, by the way,
no time.
This is not McNair. It's McNear.
There is no time.
Yeah. All right. Relax, Mr. Sheen.
I have told you there is no time for that. There is no time.
For those of
There
you,
is no time.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For those of
There
you,
is no time.
I hate you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just messing around.
Get your finger away
I
from
have
me.
told you there is no time for that.
Move your finger from the mouse.
fine.
Remove your finger from the mouse.
I'm kind of to blame for that. I said it.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I wonder if I did this. No, it doesn't do that. Go.
There is no time.
The Borough Council had a workshop on Monday with representatives from our local churches talking about the parking situation. So apparently metered parking and being able to put the bags on them. So certain organizations and certain restaurants and certain
like
Nancy at the
right.
Shriver have bags that they pay for that they can put on parking meters. There was a workshop to talk about that, but they're no longer. They were told by the borough that they're no longer allowed to place those bags on parking spaces.
So I heard that, but that was a while ago.
This just happened on Monday because they're having a workshop about it because the churches were like, listen, church isn't always on Sunday.
Right.
So, and especially this week because Holy Days of Obligation for the Easter holiday. So
Evening sometimes, not after 8 o'clock.
Correct.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
They should just make it business hours like they used to have, where you after 5 or 6 or whatever it was, you don't have to pay the toll or the meter.
Well, there's that. That's one aspect of this. But then the other aspect of it is the churches were told that those bags that they put out on the parking meters for like their handicap patrons, they couldn't do anymore.
Do you know what this is about, though? Do you know why?
There's a ton of backstory to this.
Yeah.
The reason that
it's
I'm bringing
petty,
this,
though.
It is.
It's petty and it's personal and it's not right.
the reason that I'm bringing this up is that if you are local and you attend one of our local churches, or if you are a business that is in our local area, it is being brought up again. Now is the time to go to council meetings.
Yeah, go stand up for yourself, folks. Seriously.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
All right, good. All right, what else?
That's it.
Oh my God, that is?
Aldersman, Broderson.
Listen, there's a couple of things I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. On Monday, Easter Monday, Ask a Gettysburg Guide General John Gibbon with Chris Army, and on Patreon, Longstreet at Liberty Place with Kevin Bryant. I loved recording this episode in particular because I had never heard of this. This is a post-war thing. This is a Reconstruction thing. It happens down in New Orleans. And Longstreet is, there's a little battle there at Liberty Place. And Kevin Bryant is going to regale us with that wonderful story over on Patreon. And then don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, April is on, what is it? April 1st is when?
Monday.
Monday is April 1st. And that means it's the first Get Out of the Car tour month. And
Da 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 da,
and make them laugh in the window. And April 20th, 2024 is in fact the date of our very first one, our inaugural one. It's the Vermont Brigade on Cemetery Ridge. And we're going to, let's see here, as Pickett's division marched into history on July 3rd, 1863, securing their right flank would be crucial to success. The men from Vermont would play a crucial role in helping to ensure they failed. Join us as we highlight the role of these 9-month men during their most important action. Meet at the Vermont Monument on Hancock Avenue. It ends at the 13th Vermont Advance Marker. Park where legal, park where legal, park where legal. We're
not
probably
on the grass.
Not on the grass. We're probably going to suggest you all park in the cemetery parking lot at the Ziegler's Grove parking lot, and then we'll just walk down and meet us there at the...
What's the date again, Matt?
Why, it's April 20th, Bethany.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, and it's at 10 o'clock a.m. is when the tour starts, but you should get there between 9 and 9:30 to make sure you get the proper parking. And park where legal, park where legal, park where legal.
I am so, is Miss Lisi on here?
I haven't seen her in a while.
Because she's from Punxsutawney.
Punxsutawney.
Ask her if she knows.
What?
Punxsutawney had. Is this your news?
No.
And now.
Punxsutawney had
2 babies.
Oh. No, I didn't put that in the news.
Phil is Philomena.
There is a female and a male groundhog.
Punxsutawney Phil had a baby.
Yep, 2.
So Phil is actually a girl.
Sometimes, yes.
Wait a minute, sometimes.
Well, the groundhog only lives out so long.
What?
Yeah. The best was the year that they pulled him out and he was dead.
What?
It was fantastic.
You're kidding me.
It was wonderful.
I never heard that.
Yeah, they pulled him out and he was dead.
That's terrible.
No way. That I don't. What year was that?
I don't remember.
So what else happened in Punxsutawney?
Oh, I was just letting. The joke is done now, but there's a radio guy that sounds exactly like that, and I was gonna say, ask Miss Lisi about the guy from Mega Rock. That's their radio station, Mega Rock.
What was it? What was the voice we were doing? What were we just doing?
Yeah, you were doing the announcer voice.
I can't remember what we were doing.
Of the stuff for the Get Out of the Car tour.
Yeah. The Vermont Brigade, as big as the vision. I can't remember. I can't get into it. What was I doing?
You were doing the...
The men from Vermont would play a crucial role in helping to ensure they fail. Join us as we highlight the role of these 9-month men during the most important action that we've got. We were talking like this, weren't we?
Kind of.
Yes, it was kind of that kind of way of talking. Yes. There, yeah, you do it, and I can do it.
Do the voice.
Come
on, do it!
No, it's not
my
funny.
favorite voice.
It's not
You can't
funny.
force it.
It's
Here,
my favorite
and you can't.
voice.
Thank you. You can't force it. I can't do command
Please do it.
performances of it.
Please do it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The voice of...
I know Wendell.
Carl
Wendell.
Watterson
What was
or
it?
whatever
Wendell
was.
Clarkson.
Wendell Clarkson.
Please, it's my favorite.
Wendell Clarkson, and he's doing an M&T Bank commercial, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try it.
Hi, I'm no wait
That's not
wait.
it.
Now, how is it?
Hi, I'm Wendell Clarkson, Vice President of Marketing at M&T Bank in Hooperstown, Louisiana. You know, I want my customers to feel that they have a friend here at M&T Bank. And so when they come in for a loan, I make sure that they feel comfortable. I offer them coffee, donuts, and I let them sit down on a couch that I have in my office. Because in reality, the answer is probably going to be no. I can't give them that loan. It's a pretty depressed area around here. But at least we tell you no with a smile.
M&T Bank, your neighborhood, your neighborhood house of disappointment.
Oh man.
I love that so
Oh, I
much.
love when I'm exhausted. I can actually come up with stuff.
Mega Rock for Punxsy, Reynoldsville, and DuBois, and Brookville. Don't forget Brookville.
So what's the answer? I guess it's too late to go to Getty's Brew Works, Battlefield Brew
No,
Works.
if we get there very soon.
Did you contact them?
I did.
And what did they say?
If we get there very soon, they'll still be open for us to eat.
What does that mean? Very
because
soon.
they have what is it? Open mic night tonight.
Okay.
So
So-
that is going until 9. They'll keep the kitchen open. They'll probably be there till about 9:30. So
Okay, all right.
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile.
All right.
That
Thank
kind
you.
of sounds like Mike.
It was Mike.
Is that who you're imitating?
Chick-fil-A corporate is very
No,
protective
no, no. When
of
you
their
do your voice, it kind of sounds like Mike.
Mike doesn't sound like that.
Yes, it does. Say it.
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile.
No, that's just that last
do it.
word.
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile.
No, that doesn't.
Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
Chick-fil-A. Hi, I'm Wendell Clarkson. Hi, I'm Wendell Clarkson, and I'm Vice President of Loans and Disappointment at M&T Bank. You know, when my customers come in, I want them to feel like they have a friend, like they're coming, I don't know, to their parents for a loan. And just like when you come to your parents for a loan, we're going to make you feel really bad about it.
Why, Ike? Whatever do you mean?
Oh, shit. So, that's abbreviation. That wasn't now. I look it up. That's not funny. I have a hard time with names sometimes. Yeah, hypothesis. My truck's there sitting. I'm not dressing as Santa Claus. No. That's definitely no way I'm dressing up as Santa Claus. Yes.
I texted Kim. I haven't heard from him in a while. And I texted him the other day and I said, so which job are you getting with the park, right? I think he had 2 interviews. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, no time to talk now. Fighting fire. Or fighting a fire. And I'm like, in your house? No. Ain't you been watching the news? And I go, oh, the forest fires. Yes, I'm down in West Virginia fighting the fire. So I was like, okay, be careful. And he's like, he's like, then he starts sending me pictures of like the staging area with stacks and stacks of cases of water and food and all this stuff. And then he's not actually fighting the fire. His 4-H club is managing the staging area, which is important and good, but it's not quite fighting the fire. It's not quite fighting the fire, you know?
We didn't start the fire.
My name is Wendell Clarkson, and I am the head of the Murgersville, West Virginia 4-H Club. And we manage staging areas for forest firefighters.
My name is Cameron, and I help Wendell. I like to stack the water, and I like to stack the food. They give us Twinkies and Frito-Lays, lots of things, you know, that you can eat on the run.
Cameron is just an utter delight. He's he's really dedicated to the job. In fact, when we say, Cameron, what do you do for work? He says, I don't have enough time. We're fighting fires.
I'll tell you what I do for work, but right now I have to fight a fire. Well, how come you have the time to talk to us now? Why can't you just tell us you're not fighting a fire now?
Well, Cameron is often not sure about what he's saying, but that's why we love him here at Merklesville, West Virginia 4-H Club.
Merklesville 4-H. Staging, managing staging areas since 1963. All right, should we go now? What else is there?
I can't help it. That voice makes me...
I don't know why. It's like anybody could do that voice.
I'm telling you, everybody else loves it too. So shut up. I'm right.
What? Grant says, I feel bad for Cameron on this. Why? What was that? What's wrong with that?
I'm like sweating. I'm like...
Peter says, oh God, we need a weekly advertisement like that each week. Jeremy Sears says, that's hilarious. Wendell Clarkson is my new favorite character. Says Gene Hutchinson. Poor
I
Bethany.
am going to pee myself. I seriously thought I was.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny.
As I drink more water.
Gene says, why is Matt not a voice actor? Because I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to get that job. It was much easier for me to make a job than to go and find one. So, sorry. I would love to do that. Okay, so God, it's hot, right?
I'm like,
I have the air conditioning on, and it's hot as hell in this room. It's the body heat, right?
It's because I was laughing so hard.
Right. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Wendell Clarkson, President and CEO of AGHVAC. If you're ever in a room when your AC is on, and it's hot, that means the AC is not working right. And you need to call us at AGHVAC.
At AGHVAC, we want your home to be comfortable.
I'll send my crew in there. They'll come in with their knee pads and they'll get into the vents if they need to. Maybe there's something in there, a dead cat or something. Or your grandmother. She didn't go wandering around the neighborhood. She's in the vent, and that's why the house smells. And so we'll take care of it, whatever it is. We won't ask how it got there. We'll just make sure that your house is comfortable.
Call 717-333-3333. AGHVAC. Warming your cockles since 1974. Okay. Well, speaking of warming cockles, let's go to Gettysburg Battlefield Brew Works. I'm so sorry. So many names to remember. Battlefield Brew Works. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the show. Thanks to Ross Hetrick. Good luck with everything, Ross. You have a great thing going, and we hope it works out and lasts a very long time for Gettysburg and all the visitors. And Corey, thanks for coming in. I hope you had a good time.
Had a great time.
All right. Cindy, great job on the thing there. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about the internet. I'll figure out what that's all about, and we'll take care of it as soon as possible. ASAP, as stupid as popsicles, and we will see you guys next week. Have a happy Easter to you all, and then we'll see you and talk about our Easters. Goodbye.
Bye.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin MacLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Cindy Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. We'll need a couple thousand patrons to be able to put people up in hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and Civil War education. So go to patreon.com/addressinggettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
I hope enthusiasm sticks. So, aren't you glad I'm back? He was a Mordor man.
Hello. Am I I-26?
You push the button, you get the banana. Stop moving it around.
I've never heard of that.
There is no time.
That is gross.
We love you, Long Tim.
It's getting to be goddamn ridiculous.
This concludes our broadcast day.